This call is being recorded.
Oh,
Hello?
hi. How are you doing, Diana?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I apologize for the hassle. There's some issue with the Uber conference today. I'll be definitely reaching out with their support after the call. So, are you ready for the call?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, great. And did you get a chance to go through the document that I sent to you?
Yes, I was able to go through it and kind of jot some things down to help jog my memory.
Mm-hmm. And were you able to mark the keyword list?
Mark the what?
The keyword list that I
Yes.
dissected for you at the beginning of the doc. So can you share the document with me? As in
Yes.
email it to me really quickly if possible so that I have an idea of the keywords you are and are not familiar with. Just the first part.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I dissected all the three job listings that you sent to me, Diana, but I had a question in mind. So the first two positions, I understand that they are in the they're positions from the financial services industry, right? However, the
Yeah.
third position stood out like very differently. It's for a nonprofit and it's more of an operations and people management role. Any particular reason why you sent that position and what do you want the resume focus to be? Because having one particular focus and then redirecting all the um, all the accomplishments, all the values towards that helps make your resume a bit more focused, helps add in more keywords, helps pass the ATS like um, more quickly, etc., etc. So I would like to know why did you include such a different position? Do you have anything particular in mind that you would like to share with me?
Yeah. First thing, I hear you a little bit echoed, so it's kind of making it hard to hear you completely.
All right. Is this any better?
A little bit better.
Okay. I'll try that this doesn't happen. Okay. So you can just, ask me to repeat whenever you can't hear me properly. Would that be
Okay.
fine?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's some issue with Uber Conference today. I need to fix that, but I'll have to reach out to their support group after the call.
Okay. Yeah, but
Mhm.
overall, kind of like the different job descriptions I sent your way, some of them
Mhm.
have elements of like kind of like the job I'm doing right now. Not
Yeah.
entirely, but all three of them have different things of my past experience. And it's primarily because, in all honesty, I don't have a specific job I'm looking at that I'm saying, like, this is the one I want to have, just because
Mhm.
I've done multiple things in the past 2 years within this rotational program and then as an operations supervisor and kind of transitioning from that to a different kind of like next step in my career. It's more of whether is there a way I can do something different within the
Mhm.
finance industry, like with the skills I have, versus kind of doing the same thing, especially because, well, the primary reason is because the company I worked for, Vanguard, like their
Mhm.
financial structure and department structure is very different than like all of their competitors. So
Mhm.
not every competitor has kind of like that middle office advice operations group that I used to
Mhm.
work in. Usually they have the financial advisors and the advisor associates doing all of that. So it's
All
more
right.
that's why I haven't found like something that matches like my specific role, like the most
Mhm.
recent one, because the company I worked for, like their organizational structure is much different than kind of like the
Mhm.
jobs I've been looking at. And then also because in the past couple in the past year or so, I've gained more and more interest in going in a more like leadership slash technical route.
Mhm.
And I'm currently in the process of applying to graduate school for business analytics. So that's kind of like
Mhm.
why I want to kind of gear my career towards that way. So once hopefully like I'm accepted into the program and able to graduate, I can also have some complementing experience under my belt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So you don't need to have like one particular job in mind for me to help you with the service. What I need to know is that, like you said, that you want to move up the career ladder, right? You want to move up and step up from your current position. And the role that you are envisioning is more leadership oriented, right? But here's the thing, we need to have a general focus. Now, the positions that you have sent to me, two of them, they're more kind of like client and market focused, right? I mean, they're part of the same chain, but they're at the different ends. And one of them is very core operations related. So when you want to move up the ladder, which leadership position would you like more? Interacting with the clients, helping the business grow through strategic decision making, or etc. Risk mitigation, etc., etc., or uh, going into the more core, operations management and internal leadership roles, because
I
we'll kind of like have a focus according to that particular. If we need to move away from your I understand that your current role is more operations related, and like you mentioned that Vanguard has a different structure compared to other to its competitors, but we'll then look for more transferable skills that you can use when applying to other kind of like roles as well. So I just need to know what is your priority.
Okay, I guess like putting it that way, my priority would be towards more of like that operational management slash leadership, like
All right.
internal
Mm-hmm.
leadership.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I'll give more weightage to the fact that you kind of like have these operational leadership, these people management skills, these business process improvement skills, right?
Yeah.
And then the second aspect would be of how you are also able to interact with clients, because the questions I framed for you initially in the document, they were more related to client relationship management, right? They were more related to the more front end side. All right. But now that I know what you want, I'll be asking you questions. I'll be digging up accomplishments around that, right? So that your purpose is fulfilled. All right. So
Okay.
having said that, let's just begin with the. Have you sent me the keyword list, Alan?
I'm looking for your email. Let me pull it up to send it.
Just yeah, reply to the one that I sent to you.
Let me. Okay. Okay. I sent it your way.
All right. Let me just quickly go through the keywords, and then. Okay, so you have been working at Vanguard since 2016, first as an intern, and then you joined as part of the management trainee development program in 2017. So I'm going to combine all these together under the Vanguard experience, right?
Okay.
Because it's like one whole experience and it's 2 years, so that will be great. Mhm.
Okay.
All right, great. So having said that, yeah, so I would first like to know more about the advice operations supervisor position. I understand that you mentioned you manage a team of 8 portfolio implementation associates, et cetera, and that they support 500 plus advisors. So you mentioned that Vanguard has a very different structure, right, in
Mhm.
terms of its advice operations group. I would like to know more about the role it plays, the stakeholder it works with, the purpose, essentially, a very brief overview of the background.
Yeah. So overall, kind of like the reason why Vanguard is very different is because um, the financial advisors are registered under a different entity than
Right.
our associates. So
Mm-hmm.
that's they have fiduciary responsibility over our managed clients' accounts, but then that's where we come in and since we're not registered under the same entity, we can have like a higher scrutiny and more compliance towards the work they're doing. And since they're not registered under the same entity, they manage the relationships, but they can't place trades. So that's where
All
my
right.
team comes in, and we're the ones that place trades, do any type of monetary or clerical account maintenance, and
Mm,
anything that has to do with error resolutions, problem solving, compliance, risk evaluation, enrollment, unenrollment, anything that has to do with like any projects, because our group is more of like an inbound phone group. So we speak
mm,
primarily with financial advisors, but we speak to clients conferenced in. So we don't have a direct phone line.
mm,
And so we like my old team had metrics to meet, service levels, like anything you would expect in a call center. And as part of
mm,
the leadership team, you have to manage those metrics. You're involved in call forecasting, staffing forecasting, and that's kind of like advice operations in a nutshell, I could say. And
mm,
then one of the most important roles that we have is that ever since the Pension Protection Act, one of
mm,
the things we have in our company, in our contract with our clients, is that once you enroll in our service, we have to have
mm,
that money invested in 5 days. If not, like we're facing contractual risk with our clients and can be potentially sued for not meeting our contractual obligations. So that's where we
mm,
really push our advisors to make sure they're doing everything to get that money invested to avoid those violations.
mm. And any particular challenges that you have faced in that? Any, because since this is kind of like a change in the law, right? A new policy implemented. So any particular implementation challenges that you faced with advisors?
I think the biggest challenge is them remembering, since a lot of them manage book of businesses of 300 like clients or
Mm,
like 300 households. So it's very
mm,
hard for them to keep track of who's on day 3, who's on day 4, who's on day 5. So that's where we have a daily report that's being pulled telling us like who's getting closer to day 5, and we're constantly reminding them. And I think the biggest challenge is just getting them in that mindset. And if we do run into any technical issues, making sure it's
mm,
corrected within that 5-day period versus canceling a transaction and then back trading, which client can
mm,
earn, potentially either lose or gain money.
mm. And in terms of the reporting structure that you mentioned, is this something that you guys have implemented as a result of this policy change, as in to support and implement this kind of like policy change, or was it something that was there before?
It was there before. It's just more of like us
Mhm.
making sure that it continues to be implemented, and then we're evaluated on like making sure that
Mhm.
they avoid those violations.
All right. And so you say that you don't have direct call lines, right? That means you guys, this advice support operations team, this isn't working directly with the clients, but you do have enough client interaction. Or
Yeah.
are you completely at the back end?
It's kind of a hybrid because we do all of the back end functions, but when a advisor
Mm,
has an appointment with a client, they
mm,
conference us in, and then we
mm,
handle like any clerical or monetary things the client has. Or if they call, let's say, our in our like outbound phone groups, like the general hotline, and
mm.
they notice that they're a managed client, they then transfer them to us.
All right, all right. That makes sense. And in terms of, in terms of generating or again helping generate new client leads, any particular projects that you have taken to support the advisors in
Yeah.
doing that?
So overall, like one of the since we don't help with generating leads, like we help with like existing managed relationships.
Existing man. Mm-hmm.
One of the things we do, like we had a campaign going out, and it's going out for the rest of this year, about upgrading clients to a new brokerage platform that can handle the
All right.
capabilities of like mutual funds, but also if you want to have like ETFs or any type of brokerage securities. because not all clients have a brokerage platform. So with us, it's more of that customer service and going above and beyond and making sure that the clients understand the benefits of these brokerage accounts. And since the advisor is not 100% familiar with all of the benefits, that's where they transfer the